Shalom. So before I get started, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah Bahashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles of Israel, aka the head apostles of Great Millstone, who do rule well and teach well with sound doctrine. Shalom to the elders and the elder bishops of Great Millstone as well. Peace, love, salutations, and blessings to all the sincere Akim and Akwat who do subscribe to this truth. A hearty shalom to the men out there in the highways and byways, highways and hedges, preaching and teaching in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and risking their freedom, now more so than ever, especially in these times, making their bodies a living sacrifice out there on the highways and byways, highways and hedges with the testimony of our Lord Yahweh Shai, which is the spirit of prophecy, which allows men to go into the scriptures and bring out understanding on a high level. And last but not least, a hearty shalom to the men of Valley Camp, New Jersey, NYC, South Carolina, DTA Camp, Jersey, NYC, Philly, Baltimore. First camp I ever heard the truth from, Isaiah 62 verses 6 through 7. Those that make mention of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Shai, keep not silence. Give him no rest day or night. To Jerusalem is a praise in the earth. So this is Brother Ashamath coming back at you with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Shai. Lord's will, you'll find this lesson edifying. And this lesson is going to be on the Cyber Polygon that's hosted by the World Economic Forum, which is a simulation of a cyber attack. And it's just so ironic that you have cyber attacks all across the globe and news articles and trending is cyber attacks. The main culprit of the gas crisis, the main culprit of the coming famine and the global food costs going up crisis. Cyber attacks. The world's largest meat supplier, cyber attacked. Just so ironic, right? Now, this same group right here, the World Economic Forum, also has something called the Davos Agenda, which is basically a push to do a global reset of all the world currencies, behind the scenes. Also, this same group right here and the leaders of this group are behind the statement, you will own nothing and you will be happy. Also, this group's partners in crime, the World Health Organization, also did a simulation on October 18th, 2019, called Event 201. And so ironic that a lot of the things that happened in that simulation are being played out in real life right now. So I'm going to play a few clips from that event. I'm also going to touch on a few articles that touch base on the theme of cyber attacks. And once again, Lord's will, you'll find this lesson edifying. So let's find out a little more about this Cyber Polygon event that's being hosted by the World Economic Forum, the group that said you will own nothing and you will be happy. The same group's leader, Klaus Schwab, has basically been out there trying to push the NWO agenda, not trying, but pushing it via the World Economic Forum and setting everything up for this great reset. So let's find out a little more about this Cyber Polygon. So Cyber Polygon is a unique cybersecurity event that combines the world's largest technical training exercise for corporate teams and an online conference featuring senior officials from international organizations and leading corporations. The 2021 conference discusses the key risks of digitalization and best practice for the secure development of digital ecosystems. That's code talk for the Internet of Bodies, the Internet of Things. It's like the Internet of Bodies, the Internet of Things, tongue twister, and the beast system, the digital world system, the beast system, all done on a digital database via a RFID digital device that they plant into you, and it has all of your necessities on there: your social media, your wallet, your health records, so on and so forth. And they're introducing this technology through gradualism, through central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, cryptocurrency, the digital wallet, so on and so forth. Universal basic income. Those are all gateway drugs to get people in and get people hooked to this digital ecosystem, this one world digital system. The 2021 technical exercise builds and tests the skills needed to protect our industries, centering, that's what they mean. These people don't have good grammar. On a targeted supply chain attack. Does that sound familiar? What happened last week? JBS? What happened last month? The gas cyber attack? Let's read this again. The 2021 technical exercise builds and tests the skills needed to protect our industries, centering on a targeted supply chain attack. Well, if that doesn't sound familiar, I don't know what does. Let's find out a little more about this cyber Polygon, this simulation that they plan on doing. Every year, the training brings together a global businesses. These people don't have really good grammar. Every year, the training brings together, let's just take out the A, global businesses and government agencies to collaborate on technical exercises. The live stream draws in millions of spectators from across the world. So 2020, Cyber Polygon 2021. So in 2020, they had 120 teams from 29 countries. They reached 5 million people in 57 nations. That happened in 2021. So let's find out what Cyber Polygon that happened in 2020. Let's find out what Cyber Polygon 2021 is all about. This event is set for July 9th, basically a month from now. Cyber Polygon 2021. This year, discussions during the live stream conference will center on secure development of ecosystems, with global digitalization further accelerating, and people. Global digitalization further accelerating. Okay, they're dropping hints. And people, companies, and countries becoming ever more interconnected. Through what? Through your global digitalization of everything. Getting people more used to using that grid, using that digital currency, digital wallet, central bank digital currencies, universal basic income, digital transactions, so on and so forth. Security in every single element of a supply chain is the key to ensuring the sustainability. Whoa, that's a buzzword right there. Sustainable development, Agenda 21, Agenda 2030, the Davos Agenda, the New World Order Agenda, sustainable development. So let's read this again. Security of every single element of a supply chain is key to ensuring the sustainability of the whole system. I wonder how they're going to do that. The Great Reset. During the technical exercise, participants will hone their practical skills in mitigating a targeted supply chain attack on a corporate ecosystem in real time. This is them prophesying on the left-hand side, because that's what happened in the past couple weeks. You've had real, so-called real attacks on corporate ecosystems in real time, you know? Just so ironic that they're doing this event. Now, last time they did an event, the actual pandemic started happening a few weeks after Event 201. You heard about Wuhan, China, so on and so forth. You know, the Windows 19, as the elders in Connecticut say, you know, as the elders in the Connecticut area say, the bishops. And shalom to y'all, if y'all catch this lesson. You know, the Windows 19. Event 201 happened October 18th, 2019. And then you started hearing about that Wuhan situation in December, late November, you know. Then they started pumping the craze on TV, January, late January. And then in February, they started, you know, to propagate the whole story on mainstream media nonstop. And then by March, you literally had places locking down, masking up, so on and so forth. Now, this event is happening in the wake of attacks on corporate ecosystems. So they're doing it the opposite way around this time. The events have already started happening, and now they have the exercise happening a few weeks after those events, starting to, you know, basically come to surface. So the event will be held online on July 9th. So let's go to the website and see what they're talking about. Cyber Polygon, July 9th, 2021. The International Capacity Building Initiative aimed at raising the global cyber resilience and the expansion of intersectoral cooperation against cyber threats. Well, that's the new boogeyman right now. You have this article. I was going to get it a little later, but hey, that's the spirit covering what's happening in America. So experts warn cyber hackers, the new boogeyman, you know, the new Freddy Krueger, cyber hackers, you know, people who the FBI seem to target and declare dangerous as well, supposedly, you know, people who have ransomware, you know, cybersecurity, cyber attacks, hackers, the new Freddy Krueger of America, the new boogeyman, the new Osama bin Laden, you know, the new Al-Qaeda, you know, cyber hackers, man, the new invisible enemy. So let's read about this article right here. Experts warn cyber hackers, EMP attacks, and solar storms could annihilate our electric system. So they're already throwing it out in the air, you know, weeks before this event happens. So when the event happens, you know, they can brainstorm, come up with better ideas behind camera, some on camera, in your face, and then start the full-fledged planned cyber attack, global reset, fourth industrial revolution, the Great Reset, you know? And they plan on doing this it's looking like through cyber attacks, shutting down the electrical grid, blackouts. And then what are they going to say? We need a new system. We need something better. We don't know if you've had the juice or not. All our records are wiped away. We need something better. We need you to put this in your body now. So on and so forth. Those that have eye salve to see can pick up what I'm putting down. Because the FBI director says cybersecurity threat is increasing almost exponentially. You know? And that's Esau using big words, you know. Won't you just keep it simple, man? You know? FBI director says cybersecurity is the number one priority, basically, you know. At the top, if not number one, number two, high number three, you know. That's basically what he's saying. Skip the big words, Esau. I forgot you're a fucking liar, so you're going to use big words to try to fool people. But let's get that later. So let's read a little more about this cyber Polygon event. So technology and cybersecurity are of crucial importance in this CV19, Windows 19 era. One of the most striking and exciting transformations caused by the pandemic has been our transition to the digital everything. If that isn't prophesying on the left-hand side, then I don't know what is. Both in our professional and also our personal lives. I am glad that Cyber Polygon has proved itself as one of those brilliant initiatives that addresses the need for developing and enhancing global cyber resilience in the fight against cybercrime and cyber attacks. Wow, Klaus Schwab. You know, the chairman of the board of Wicked himself, the World Economic Forum, the house of the thieves who cyber attacked and hacked all the real wealth in the form of silver and gold and giving you paper. About Cyber Polygon. Cyber Polygon is an annual online event which connects various global organizations to train their competencies, exchange practices, and bring tangible results to the world community. And these are the bigwigs that are going to be there. You have IBM, BI Zone, Interpol, the International Crime Police Organization, ICANN, Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers. That isn't the beast system online. I don't know what is. Mobile Telesystems, Ericsson, Visa, the World Economic Forum, Trend Micro, and then these other corporations. Banco, Santander, BI Zone, so on and so forth. All digital companies, pretty much, except for Interpol, which is a police organization, the International Police Organization. And then you have the World Economic Forum, who's buddy-buddy with the World Health Organization. And it's so ironic that both of these big-wig world organizations are hosting simulations that are pretty much playing out in real life, you know? So let's read this third article right here. I'm not going to read the contents of this article. You know, you can see what's happening. Let's read this first part. From natural phenomena to cyber attacks, like the massive SolarWinds operation and recent attack on the Colonial gas pipeline, security experts warn it's clear that most businesses and key infrastructure like power grids across the country are woefully unprepared to meet such threats. That's setting the stage for it to happen. That's getting the people used to the idea of it happening. So when it happens, you've heard it before. It sounds familiar. It sounds like a familiar concept. Softening the blow in the form of you heard it before. So when it happens, it sounds familiar. So if they start giving you advice on what to do in this situation, you'll more likely believe them. Planting the seed is what they call it. Let's go to this third article right here. And let's play the videos of what happened at Event 201. And let you be the judge on whether you're actually living in that or not. So Punjab government decides to block SIM cards for people refusing the Windows 19. So, let's read this part. The Punjab government on Thursday decided to block the SIM cards of people refusing to get the Windows 19. And they're going to start doing this worldwide. You're going to get those letters at your job. And then pretty soon, you're going to wake up and try to log into Facebook, Instagram, look up at your phone, and your phone's not going to work. This is happening slowly but surely, and governments are rolling out things like this. That's why you can't access the internet in China, because they probably already had this going on. You can't hear about it because they've clipped the internet. That's why you have countries looking to do the same thing, like India, Nigeria, slowly but surely, Russia, Babylon. You have YouTube guidelines. You have people getting their Instagram pages taken down, Twitter accounts removed, fact checkers on Facebook. They're slowly getting the public used to the idea of being silenced for not going along with the program. And this article came out June 10th. Today is the 11th. It's still the 10th technically, because it's only, 37 minutes into the new day. Midnight, literally, 12:37 a.m. So it's pretty much fresh off the press. This article right here is fresh off the press as well. Came out today. Fresh news. And this hasn't even happened yet. July 9th is when they plan on this occurring. This simulation that's actually playing out in real life. And then who do you have coming to this? You have two scenarios. That's what happened in 2020, basically. Let me see, 2021. So it's basically going to be the same thing in 2021 that happened in 2020 with this cyber Polygon, What happened in 2020, you had two scenarios, 120 organizations in 29 countries. Oh, shoot. Come on. Oh, wow. But pretty much, I'll leave a link to the actual article, the page right there, so you can check it out on your own. But Esau is doing that and staging these simulations, and that's all him prophesying on the left-hand side of what he plans on doing, before he's doing it. So let's play this Event 201 series of clips and let you be the judge of whether you're actually living in this or not. Because one thing doesn't lie, and as they say in the world of sports, the footage don't lie. Film don't lie. So let's play the film. And there you have the World Health Organization, whose logo looks pretty sinister. A snake squirming around a needle, eagle's wings. That's the world right there. And if images could talk, that's them letting you know without letting you know. But if you have eyes to see what they plan on doing to the world, giving them that adder's poison, that JAB, that juice, that Jim Jones juice. So let's play this clip from the World Economic Forum's Event 201 exercise.
Constant innovation and the use of cutting-edge technology is key to pandemic preparedness. In order to pool data and analytics at a global scale for disease prevention,
and this is from October 18th, 2019. You didn't have cities start to get locked down until late February, early March. You didn't hear about Wuhan in China until late December, early January. So this is a couple months before all that madness started to happen. Let's see what these guys were talking about.
Brain Initiative, a global data ecosystem, aims to build a collaboration of big data networks to understand and predict epidemics. It supports data science, innovation for outbreak preparedness and response. Despite this progress, there is still much to be done. Cross-sectoral simulation exercises, such as the one you will be experiencing today, contribute to a better understanding of the critical gaps, the cooperation required from global businesses, response decisions required from government and public health leaders to minimize large-scale economic and societal consequences of a severe pandemic. I wish you the best of luck. We are looking forward to working with each of you to strengthen pandemic preparedness in the future. Thank you.
And this is a so-called simulation where they have a virus, put it like that. And I'm gonna just let the film do the rest of the talking. Then I'm gonna jump into the scriptures. But this is pretty key.
And our thanks to Dr. Ryan. And with that, here in New York and online, welcome to Event 201.
It began in healthy-looking pigs, months, perhaps years ago. A new coronavirus spread silently within herds.
Look familiar? Okay. Let's keep it going.
Gradually, farmers started getting sick. Infected people got a respiratory illness with symptoms ranging from mild flu-like signs to severe pneumonia. The sickest required intensive care. Many died. At first, the spread was limited to those with close contacts, healthcare personnel, co-workers, and families. But now, it's spreading rapidly throughout local communities. International travel has turned local epidemics into a pandemic spanning the globe. Just 3 months ago, CAP started in South America, but has now reached several countries with more than 30,000 cases and nearly 2,000 deaths.
Good morning, and thank you all for being part of this Pandemic Emergency Board. We're at the start of what's looking like it will be.
And then you got all sorts of bigwigs there. So you got Johns Hopkins University there. Let's see if it'll take the glare off. Here you got Johns Hopkins University, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. So ironic. You know, Uncle Melinda and Uncle Bill Gates Foundation.
Be a severe pandemic, and there are problems emerging that can only be solved by global business and governments working together. The global community has been working to respond to this pandemic since its recognition, but as health and economic impacts have become more severe, the World Economic Forum has convened this board because of your combined expertise, your backgrounds, and your global voice. We will need all of you to help us respond to urgent policy crises that are emerging. The purpose of this board is to advise leaders in national governments, global business, and international organizations on the response to the pandemic, particularly focused on international problems that require collaboration between business and government. Your recommendations will be critical and will be promulgated and communicated broadly at the end of this meeting. On the left screen, as we have this meeting, you will find a dashboard of information about the pandemic that will help us in our conversations. As important background for this discussion, we want to start the meeting by viewing this news story that just aired on Global News Network.
Continuing our coverage of the newly discovered CAPS disease and the scope of its deadly outbreaks, there are now more than 30,000 reported cases. Experts warn this may be just the beginning.
Does this look familiar? Does this look like the fear porn that was on TV every day, nonstop, from February, literally to like September? Does it or does it not? Am I tripping or am I not? I don't know. Let's keep it going.
Of a global problem. GNN science reporters have produced a video about what we know so far about CAPS, the virus, the outbreak, and the resulting chaos.
CAPS is a novel coronavirus related to those viruses that caused the frightening SARS epidemic in 2003 and the deadly MERS outbreaks in recent years.
And this is a simulation. You know, this isn't the real thing, but it came out and they did this months before the real thing, the supposed real thing, you know, allegedly the real thing, you know.
Scientists think each infected person in turn infects on average 2 more people. This disease is proving more transmissible than SARS or MERS and about as contagious as influenza.
Does that logo look familiar?
Essentially, the cumulative number of cases is doubling every week. At this rate, we can expect to see 16 times as many cases in a month unless we find a way to interrupt transmission. The virus appears to be spreading rapidly in densely populated and impoverished neighborhoods in some megacities in South America. CAPS is a serious respiratory disease. More than half of the recognized cases have required hospital care, creating a huge strain on healthcare systems. The fatality rate is about 10%. For comparison, CAPS is about as lethal as SARS and 2 to 4 times more lethal than the 1918 influenza pandemic, the worst pandemic on record. Even so, some people only exhibit mild flu-like symptoms, not requiring treatment in a hospital. Alarming.
Does that sound familiar or not? Okay, let's go.
Those people.
And where's the flu at? That nigga die? That nigga on vacation? Is he asleep? Did Windows 19 pull up and be like, you out of here? We need answers. Oh, we got the answers. You're a liar.
Are able to walk around and spread the virus, not realizing they are doing so. Even worse, international travelers have been arriving at their destinations symptom-free, but within a matter of hours, becoming ill. Travel-related cases have blossomed into outbreaks in a number of locations and have quickly grown faster than health authorities could respond and contain them. In other places, physicians have quickly recognized the symptoms of CAPS and have been able to isolate infected individuals and avoid an outbreak, for now. Global public health experts are very concerned about this disease because it appears the virus is readily transmitted through the air from person to person. Essentially, all people are susceptible. Experts agree unless it is quickly controlled, it could lead to...
They tried to say that about the, pandemic as well, airborne Windows 19. Let's keep it going.
A severe pandemic, an outbreak that circles the globe and affects people everywhere. Models developed by leading public health authorities indicate a CAPS pandemic.
Wow. Looks familiar, doesn't it?
Could lead to an outcome worse than the 1918 influenza, which killed 50 to 100 million people worldwide. Given the global population is 4 times larger than it was in 1918, if these models prove accurate, we could be looking at hundreds of millions of deaths over the next year or two.
Okay, now we're going to get a briefing on the numbers and distribution of cases by Dr. Caitlin Rivers.
As you've just heard, the outbreak is very worrisome. The vast majority of cases are occurring in Brazil and other South American countries. However, as you can see on the screen, there have been some spread to Portugal, the continental United States, and mainland China. Our models project that with continued spread in Latin America and predicted spread to additional countries, we could be looking at double the number of cases in 1 week and 16 times as many in a month if we are not able to stop the spread. That would be on the order of 500,000 cases, and it would continue to rise exponentially. In 3 months, we could be approaching 10 million cases. We are also tracking financial markets as an
Does this look familiar? The fear porn you were seeing on Fox News and CNN? You know, Dr. Fraudchi and his constituents giving these type of reports all the time. You know,
indicator of the economic impacts of caps. While markets are down worldwide in the past couple of weeks, they are still positive for the year.
Thank you, Dr. Rivers. The first emerging policy crisis for which we need this board's
so that's all I'm going to play of that part. Let's play the second part right here, because this is where it gets interesting, because this is what you have going on right now on a worldwide scale. Let's just let them tell them themselves.
Leadership organizations, such as the BRT and like enterprises around the globe. But I also think we're at a moment where the social media platforms have to step forward and recognize the moment to assert that they're a technology platform and not a broadcaster is over. They, in fact, have to be a participant in broadcasting accurate information. And
says who? Says your potion is experimental for emergency authorization use and not approved by the FDA. Says the flu virus disappeared and nobody can find it anymore. And all of a sudden you got all these fact police on the internet. Instagram, you have fact checkers. Facebook, you got fact checkers. Fact checker says who? Oh, says these guys. Says the people who work for, the people who employ these guys. The New World Order agenda is in full effect. This is part of it. Let's play it.
Partnering with the scientific and health communities to counterweight, if not flood the zone of accurate information, because to try to put the genie back in the bottle of the misinformation and disinformation is nigh impossible.
So flood.
So those are buzzwords being used right now. You know, social media misinformation, Windows 19 misinformation and disinformation, religious misinformation, disinformation. And this event happened in October 2019.
Good information. Okay, others. Yeah, Jane.
Yeah, so can I agree with that? And my fact, it did come from the Edelman Trust Index, you'll be pleased to know.
But also borne out by the work I've done as a CEO in my time. Can I also add that I think there are real technology opportunities here. I personally do not believe that trying to shut things down in terms of information is either practical or desirable.
And we do have, I think, a couple of strategies that are available to us, one of which is the flood strategy, second of which is relying and informing and equipping trusted sources of information with the facts so they can then pass that on. But we also need to actually think about a technological answer to this. So there is work that's being done to actually create algorithms to sift through information on these kind of social media platforms. And I know that the Gates Foundation and others are funding organisations to work on things like this in order that people can actually have more confidence in the sources that they will use in any event. So I think both a detailed solution working with individuals, but then also thinking about technology is something we have to advance.
Steve.
So, looping back into the trust barometer, last year in Davos, it was released that trust in traditional media sources has grown, while trust in social media sources has gone down, specifically after the last elections in the United States. So I think one of the ways that we need to approach this is to make sure that we have the right representatives on traditional media networks in order to portray our side of the story and make sure that there isn't misinformation. I agree with Jane that shutting down internet is only going to cause extra panic and extra anxiety. In fact, that staff tells me places where internet access has been shut down, there's unrest growing. So,
What you have going on right now, China, internet access has been shut down. You can't access Google, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. None of those websites are accessible. And then you have reports of the internet being blacked out in certain parts of Colombia, so on and so forth.
We're not only dealing with this specific situation, but really people not trusting their governments at this point. And so I think we really need to make sure, one, from a news perspective, that information is being disseminated correctly and that we have the right resources out there to provide this information. I also think that there is a good point in trusting in employees, in your employers. There are lots of communications channels. For example, during the Ebola crisis at Texas Children's Hospital, we had daily briefings with the CDC to tell us what the situation was. And because of those daily briefings, we used between the intranet, internal global communications, and town halls, we use those sources to be able to disseminate information and make sure that our employees knew exactly what was going on, coming straight from the source, whether it was from our CEO, our chief nursing officer, or others within the hospital.
Okay.
Chris?
Sorry.
No, I think a complementary tactic too is to tap faith-based organizations and civil society and other institutions.
The clergy, and then you got Eve in the background. And what do you have your clergy leaders telling you? Go down there and see Mad Max. You know, they have the General Yohana, Bishop Nate report, the Geno Jennings report. I don't care what's in it.
To recruit them also to basically, almost at a grassroots level, continue to basically have the integrity of the information.
So I just pick up on the daily briefings or twice daily briefings. During H1N1, WHO filled the parking lot in Geneva with the global press and provided them daily updates on what was happening. And I think that's a manifestation of flood, meaning you have to lead and lead regularly. And I think in the terms of the content is what we know and point to where communications have actually been pretty good. I think
so. That's all I'm gonna play of that. And then the last segment right here is them telling on themselves even more.
Because I think there needs to be a central repository of data, facts, and key messages.
Tim, you wanted to comment on that, and then we'll go back to regular order here.
Yeah, I think one important thing is there needs to be a sense of two-way communication, which is people on the front lines may be finding out that actually the system's not working as it should. And I think there should be a culture in the communications to feed back to authorities, places where the system is broken down, where supplies are short, where there are no health workers, where hospitals are dysfunctional, etc. Because that, and then with some credible investigation process, which is that then values the client. The second dimension of it, I think that's really important, is to get individual narratives on this. I mean, the fact is that most people will survive. And that's probably not a widespread public perception. And so people who have lived and survived and can say that they got good care or that they were treated appropriately will help build confidence in the system in a way that perhaps the data doesn't do as effectively.
Asti, Latoya, Sophia, and then Jane.
I think a couple of things we have to consider are, even before this began, the anti-vaccine movement was very strong. And this is something specifically through social media that has spread. So as we do the research to come up with the right vaccines to help prevent the continuation of this, how do we get the right information out there? How do we communicate the right information to ensure that the public has trust in these vaccines that we're creating? And secondly, news organizations in some countries are right now under a lot of pressure from their governments to provide politically favorable news. And so we have to think about, this isn't just the United States where we sometimes take the freedom of press for granted. There are countries where the news organizations are owned by the government, and how are they disseminating information? And what do we need to be thinking about? How do we communicate with those governments to ensure that misinformation and disinformation is not being spread?
That goes along with her. I've received information from my staff saying they're confused about the different authoritarian public health messages that are coming out from all the different sectors, the countries, the states, and different cities. And they're concerned about the differences what the World Health Organization is, saying versus what their government is saying and what the total consensus are. So with that being said, looking at hotels from that perspective, we're in a bind in knowing how to proceed.
I see. Sophia?
Thank you. The discussion is focusing on mis and disinformation, but I think what's important to counter some of that is to actually put out information or good news stories of people who have actually beat the disease, or best practices in other parts of the world that is delivering on results and sharing that. But also I agree on the point on having a centralized source of information and a world body that could have garner the respect of everyone. And I think the WHO in this instance might be that source of information. And again, using the UN networks on the ground.
Oh, wow. The group that has the logo of the serpent. And it's just so ironic that exact thing happened. You had the World Health Organization, pretty much at the forefront of this thing afterwards, spearheading all the information that you were getting through the CDC and through your local, federal, state government.
Many of these countries has a UN presence through its resident coordinator systems, and
she's with the UN.
I think based on the Edelman Trust Barometer, the UN still enjoys a lot of trust around the world. So it's a good bet. Thank you.
Thanks, Jane.
So I just want to focus, if I could, for a second, on why we communicate, what the purpose of this communication is.
So that's pretty much them telling on themselves, and you can see it right here. It's plain as day. You're living in that right now. So let's go to the scriptures. Psalm 64:2. Hide me. Zoom in so y'all can see the word. Psalm 64:2. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. And these guys are workers of iniquity. Straight liars, man. Who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. And, they have a forked tongue, when they speak, and they're looking to stick you with that baby sword, man, that Jim Jones juice, and that's why they're on the video right here saying, we need to build more trust in the Windows 19, Windex. That's code talk for the juice. The Windows 19 Windex, the screen wiper, because they're liars, man. They encourage themselves in an evil manner. Psalm 64:5. They encourage themselves in an evil manner. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? The hopeful elect see you. The prophets, the truthers see you, You people who are watching, see you. The watchers see you, The servants of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, the house of David, man. Psalm 64:6. They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them is, and the heart is deep. I'm going to read this again. Psalm 64:6. They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. And that's them searching out those iniquities, man. you know? Psalm 64:7. But Yahweh Shem Shai shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded. And that is happening right now on a lower level with the truth coming out, you know? This sword, you know, is damaging you, man. The word is damaging you, man, you know? And you're wounded, you're hurt, you're through, you know? The truth is killing you, man. Psalm 64:8. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. And that's what's happening. You know, you're making your own tongue fall on yourselves, man. You know, because you're doing these type of events and people are finding out about it, man. You know, and you're so sloppy in your work that people who don't even have the spirit can put it together. But when men who have the spirit can put it together, they can make it all make sense. You know, the spirit is the glue that makes everything make sense. The spirit of prophecy, you know. Psalms 140, 1-5. Deliver me, O Yahweh Shem Shai, from the evil man. Preserve me from the violent man, which imagine mischiefs in their heart. Continually they are gathered together for war. And they're imagining mischiefs in their heart, man, in their mind. La'ab, in their mind. That's the Hebrew word for heart, you know. It actually goes to your mind, you know, la'ab, which is your mind, you know. They're imagining these mischiefs, man, you know. That's what Event 201 was. They're prophesying on the left-hand side what they plan on doing, man, you know. And these things started to happen, man, step by step, you know. Literally, it was like the last 12 months jumping off the screen, man, you know. These people were just planning your life right there in front of you of what they're going to do to you via your world governments, the World Health Organization, the local, federal, national health organizations behind the, in front of the World Health Organization, better yet, who's behind everything. And at the very top, it's Yahweh Shem Shai putting the spirit on these devils to do this, to fulfill biblical prophecy of a famine, man. And the devil coming down with great wrath, man. Psalms 140:3. They have sharpened their tongues like a serpent. Adder's poison is under their lips. And that's what's under that needle, man. You know? Poison, man. Pharmakia. Potions, man. Psalms 140:4. Keep me, O Yahweh Shem Shai, from the hand of the wicked. Keep me, O Yahweh Shem Shai, from the hands of the wicked. Preserve me from the violent man who have purpose to overthrow my goings. And that's what we're asking Yahweh Shem Shai to do, man. Preserve us. You know, keep me from the wicked man. You know, house us, man. You know, because we don't have any strength in our hands to ward off our enemies, man. You know, all we have is this word, our faith, you know, and, you know, faith in the victory, you know. But we got to endure to get the victory. You know, that's what we're asking Yahweh Shem Shai to protect us, man. You know, to preserve us, man. Because these people are going to come down with great wrath, man. You know, FEMA, the National Guard, the Gurkha troops, you know, martial law, locking down cities, forcing the juice on you, and then eventually forcing the Karagma on you, man. That's what this is all about, you know, setting everything up to be done under digital everything, you know, all digital, man. Bobby digital, literally, man. No Wu-Tang, just straight Bobby digital. Psalms 140:5. The proud have hid a snare from me. The proud, that's Esau, Edom, you know. He's a prideful man. Going back to Obadiah 1-3. You know, the pride of thy heart hath deceived thee, you know. The book of Obadiah, Slakia, is about the nation of Edom, the nation of Esau, Edom. Psalms 140:5. The proud have hid a snare from me, the juice, the Karagma, you know, digital everything, Bobby digital, and cords they have spread by Slakia. The proud have hid a snare from me, and cords they have spread a net by the wayside. They have set gins for me, you know. And that's what we're asking Yahweh Shem Shai to preserve us, man. you know, because this man is going to come down with great wrath, and he's going to be letting his wrath be known, man, his full hatred be known, man, you know. And if you don't have the protection of Yahweh Bashim Shai, you're going to be through in that day, man. Revelation 13 and 15. This is what they're doing right now. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, all digital, everything, you know. That's like Revelation 13 and 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as will not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And that's what they're saying on the left-hand side via, you know, we need to get accurate information, misinformation, disinformation, so on and so forth. People need to trust our report with the CV19 Windex, with the James Jones juice, so on and so forth. That's what they're saying right here in Punjab town, you know, the land of the Elamites, man. You know, if you don't have the Jim Jones juice, we're not going to let you get paid. You know, we're not going to let you access your cell phone. We're not going to let you access, you know, the electronical grid as far as, you know, your phones, you know, your email, so on and so forth, man. And those are unrighteous decrees, man. But that's Yahweh Bashim Yahshai putting the spirit on these people to follow after the beast system and marvel after the beast, man. You know, and this beast time right now, you know, Esau Edom is on demon time, man. You know, real talk. Psalms 37, 7 through 17. Rest in the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahshai and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass. And that's all wicked devices, man. His digital cryptocurrency, central bank digital currencies, you know, the New World Order agenda, Agenda 2030, Agenda 21, you know, this cybersecurity simulation. Those are all wicked devices, man. And that's Esau prophesying on the left-hand side. The event 201 and this event right here, the cyber Polygon, you know. Those are wicked devices. Cease from anger and forsake wrath. Fret not thyself in any wise to do evil. Don't give in. You know, don't get pricked. You know, don't drink the cup of juice, you know. Stay down for your crown. For evildoers shall be cut off. Those who, you know, take the charagma, and those who take, you know, the juice, you know, you're going to be cut off on this side, you know. If you're Israelite, you'll be rebirthed in the kingdom. As an Israelite, you'll be in your right mind, but on this side, you'll be cut off, you know. For evildoers shall be cut off, but those that wait upon Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, they shall inherit the earth, the elect. For yet a little while, and the wicked shall not be. Thou shalt diligently consider his place, and it shall not be. These Edomites are going to get hell put on them, man, you know. But the meek shall inherit the earth and shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace. It's like I lost my place. But the meek shall inherit the earth and shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace. The wicked plotteth against the just and gnasheth upon him with his teeth. And that's what they're doing, you know, via these staged and planned pandemics, via these staged and planned events. You know, they're gnashing upon the seed of Jacob, you know, with their teeth, man. You know, and they don't know exactly who all the Israelites are, so they're going to come after all the people, man, because Israel is spread amongst all the nations, man. You know, so they're going to have to come after everybody, man. Psalms 37 and 13. The Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahshai shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming, and it is. The wicked have drawn out the sword and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy, the house of Israel, and to slay such as be of upright conversation, the prophets, Their sword shall enter into their own heart, and their bows shall be broken. And that's what's going to happen to these Edomites when they come in like a great flood, man. They're going to be confounded, man. That standard is going to be lifted. Psalms 37:16. A little that a righteous man hath is better than the riches of many wicked. And this faith, man, it's better than anything that Esau, Edom can give you, man. You can't buy the spirit, man. It's the most precious gift you can have is faith, and then the spirit. And then on top of that, the spirit of prophecy, Be blessed, feel blessed, and be blessed that you have this truth, man. Psalms 37:17, for the arms of the wicked shall be broken, but the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai upholdeth the righteous. The name of the Lord is a strong tower, The angel of the Lord encampeth around them that fear him and delivereth them, man. Psalms 37:17, for the arms of the wicked shall be broken, but the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai upholdeth the righteous. Let's go to the book of Job. Let's read 5 through 9. Yep. Let's start at 4. Job 20:4. Slack it. Job 20:4. Thou knowest not this of old, since the man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. And these people are hypocrites, man. They have their little season right now to rule the earth in complete wickedness, man. But that season is short, man. And they're going to be out of here pretty soon, man. And they're salty about coming out of power, man. That's why they're doing this shit. Just being wicked, trying to hold on for dear life with Moab, dusty ass Moab, the backbiters there, you got Japhet right here, just through, man. That's why they're doing this shit too, man. Trying to implement, this dystopian Hunger Games type digital, social credit system society, man. All that's going to be confounded when they actually try to come in after the elect, man. So let's go back into the book of Job. Yep. Job 20:6. Though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reach unto the clouds. This man is a prideful man. He has his head up in the clouds like he is actually the Most High, man. But he's going to be abased. Job 27. Yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? And he's going to be out of there pretty soon, man. And Adon Rathasah, sooner than later, man. We don't want to see this nigga rule for one more day, man. Job 20:8. He shall fly away as a dream, and shall not be found. Yea, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night. He's going to be Obadiah 1:18 pretty soon, man. What I mean by pretty soon is after that 1,000 years of captivity, he's going to be out of there, man. Obadiah 1:18. Chased away, fly away. Get out of there, man. Get out of here. No champagne, no rice. Through. Job 20:9. The eye also which saw him shall see him no more, neither shall his place any more behold him. Give me all that. Mount Seir, all your riches, everything, man. It all belongs to the house of David anyway, man. You know, you're just sitting there holding the riches temporarily, man. The rightful owners are coming back to take everything, and the saints shall take the kingdom, man. You know, Job 20, it's like a Job 5, it's like a Job 5, not Job 20, Job 5, 12 through 13. He disappointed the devices of the crafty so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. You won't be able to perform, you know, this in its fullness, man, you know. But the elect will be able to perform their kingdom in their fullness, man. But you won't be able to accomplish any of this shit on the full level you want to. You'll get close just to get confounded, you know? Like the Buffalo Bills, man. Get to the Super Bowl 4 times, man. And take L's every single time. That's going to be Esau, man. Trying to set this new world order, man. You know, more depressed than the Bills fan, man. Job 5 and 13. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the froward is carried headlong. And, you know, Esau's wise in his own eyes, man. You know? But all that's going to come to nothing. Isaiah 47 and 9. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. And these are sorceries, man, you know? Enchantments, man. So is this. Digital currency, blockchain, cryptocurrency, the RFID technology, your 5G towers, you know? Those are all enchantments, man. You know? Wicked devices, man, that will all be confounded. Isaiah 47 and 10. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, none seeth me. The elect see you. The house of David sees you. Yahushua sees you. The angels see you in the chariots. The Heavenly Father sees you. Your own people see you. The heathen see you. Everybody sees you, man. You know, red-handed with your hand in the cookie jar, man. Isaiah 47 and 10 from the top. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge it hath perverted thee. And thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. And that's what they're doing right now. They're trying to play Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. They're trying to be Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. But you ain't Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. And you're going to be feeling every single lash in the kingdom, man, for trying to do this bullshit, man. Isaiah 47 and 11. Therefore, evil shall come upon thee. Thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee. Thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. You're going to see a gang of chariots in the sky, man. And a tall black man, a tall so-called black man, you know, Yahushua, standing on top of the fathership, man, you know. And in that day, you know, you're going to know that it's over. You know, the thrill is gone. Isaiah 47 and 12. Stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so, thou shalt be able to profit. If so, thou mayest prevail, but you won't. Your arms are too short to box with Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. You know? And, you know, we would say give it up, but the scriptures have it written for you not to give it up. You're going to try to fight the Lord when he comes back, you know? You're not going to repent either. You know, when you see all the tribulation happening, man, you're going to refuse to repent, man. That's how prideful you are, man. It's written for you to be that prideful, man. That's why you got to be Obadiah 1 and 18, man. Isaiah 47 and 13. Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Stand now with the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators. Stand up and save thee from these things. Thou shalt come upon thee. These guys won't be able to deliver themselves, man. You know, the monthly prognosticators, like you, the stargazers, the astrologers, you know, the witches, you know, the warlocks, your scientists. You're all through, man. All of y'all through, man. All of yous is through. All of yous. Isaiah 47 and 14, last scripture. Those where you found this lesson edifying. Isaiah 47 and 14. Behold, they shall be as stubble. The fire shall burn them. They shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There shall not be a coal to warm at, nor fire to sit before it. This place is going to be through after the ICBM missiles hit, man. You know, stubble, a memorial of how not to run a kingdom, man. For trying to pull this shit, all the atrocities you have done to the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Seminole Indians, you know, the wickedness that you perpetuate in this earth, man. Trans everything, genderism, humanism, you know, pushing it on children, you know, trying to legalize pedophilia, you know, pushing abominations on TV all the time, you know, pork, shrimp, crab, lobster, making it a delicacy. You know, you could have made anything a delicacy. You could have made, you know, bison or something a delicacy, man, you know. You could have made, you know, horse meat a delicacy, you know. You had to choose the animals, you know, that Yahweh Shem Yahshai, you know, ordains not to eat, man, you know. Pig, shellfish, you know, so on and so forth. So last precept again, let's read it one more time. Isaiah 47 and 14. Behold, they shall be as stubble. The fire shall burn them. They shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There shall not be a coal to warm at, nor fire to sit before it. You're going to be a stubble, man. Fire, you know, burning. After that, 1,000 years of captivity, you know. So with that, I'd like to close on out. In closing, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles of Israel, a.k.a. the head apostles of Great Millstone, who do rule well and teach well with sound doctrine. Shalom to the elders and the elder bishops of Great Millstone as well. Peace, love, salutations, and blessings to all the sincere Akim and Akwath who do subscribe to this truth. A hearty shalom to the men out there in the highways and byways, highways and hedges, preaching and teaching in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and risking their freedom, now more so than ever, especially in these times, making their bodies a living sacrifice out there on the highways and byways, highways and hedges with the testimony of our Lord Yahweh Shai, which is the spirit of prophecy, which allows men to go into the scriptures and bring out understanding on a high level. And last but not least, a hearty shalom to the Men of Valor Camp, New Jersey, NYC, South Carolina, DTA Camp, Philly, Baltimore, Jersey, NYC. First camp I ever heard the truth from, Isaiah 62, verses 6 through 7. Those that make mention of the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahshai, keep not silence. Give him no rest day or night. To Jerusalem is a praise in the earth. So once again, Lord's will, you found this lesson edifying and informative. And until next time, Lord's will, tomorrow, shalom. DTA, abab abab. Soon.